All right, so I took the chassis from the Lindberg Dodge 330 and I just laid it down here in the wheel well. Now what I did is traced with pencil along the outside edge, and I did make it a little bit bigger than the wheel well so it's easy to line up with the edge of the chassis. And I did it for both sides. I really probably could have just done it for one side, but I did it for both sides. All right, so here we are with the chassis to the Lindberg Dodge 330, the 1964 Lindberg Dodge 330. And my plan is to use this chassis with it. Now, some of you may recognize this chassis from the 69 GTX Pro Street or from the 70 Dodge Super B Coronet Pro Street. Now, when we looked at this chassis earlier, we saw that there's a little indent right here in the wheel well. So in order to transfer that to this, which definitely does not have an indent, in fact, it's quite the opposite, flares out on both sides. So what I did is I made a template. Now there's a couple ways that you can do this. First, you lay the tape on here. I marked it with a pencil along this line. I took it off, I cut it with scissors, put it back on, and as you can see, yeah, it's pretty close. This side, I did the same thing, except I took my hobby knife and I just cut along here. And yeah, it's a little bit cleaner. But I think either way, you're gonna be just fine. So let's take the tape off of here. And let's lay it down over here and see what we get. Oh. If we can lay it down straight, that's going to be the most important thing. Tell you what, let me take this off camera, see if I can fix it, and we'll come back. All right, so as you can see, I laid that down, and it's pretty close. It's just important to get it lined up on the back edge and the front edge of the chassis. So right here, so we have a little bit, just a little bit to take off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color this in black Sharpie, and I'm going to get my Dremel tool, and I'm going to use that to remove just this little bit extra of flare. I'm going to do that to both sides, and then we're going to test fit, make sure everything works, and I'll show you the results. I did forget to mention earlier when I was doing this, it's real important to mark your front edge on both of these, so that's lined up so you know where to start and where to lay it down, because it might not be the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Sharpie and I'm going to color this part in, so that way when I'm cutting, I know exactly what I have to take off and where I need to stop. I'm going to do that on both sides, and they're going to be pretty close. Good enough for government work, right? Probably don't need to color the edge, but I have the marker, I might as well. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. I'll let that dry, and then take my Dremel. You can also take a hobby knife and scribe it a bunch. Let's see what it looks like underneath. Perfect. Yeah, I'm real happy with that. Let's take a look at the other side. Yeah. Yep, just a little bit. And we'll get this done, and we'll do a test fit. We'll see where we're at. All right, I've already done one side here. It came out all right. Like I said, we'll do a test fit, see how it all works. I'm gonna do the other side on camera now, just so you guys can see it. The Dremel is set at 2,500 RPMs. It's a little fast. It does melt the plastic a little bit, but as long as you're careful, should be no problem. All right, I made quick and easy work of this. This side could probably be touched up a little bit as well. Right. Boom. Easy as that. Let me get the car body. We'll see if this fits. All right. Yeah. It's not perfect, but I think it might do. Chassis. Chassis and the interior pan fit pretty well. This may need to be sanded down just a hair, maybe this too, but I'll worry about that a little bit later. All right, let's get that in there. Boom. I think that's going to be a fairly good fit. I really do. This is the first time that I've fit it. There might still need to be a little bit adjusting over here. But overall, yeah, overall I think that's going to work just fine. I'll play with it a little more. We'll see where we get. All right. Now I really think I got it. I did take just a little bit more off. These wheel wells are, of course, just a hair taller than the stock chassis. But man, that is a pretty darn good fit right there. I really like that. And I don't think I'm going to have any problem getting the rest of the Pro Street chassis in here, along with the rear suspension and the wheels for this Pro Street build. All right. Stay tuned. We'll see where we go next.